How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lake Life Fishing. Today I'm going to be showcasing for you my 2003 Chevy Astro van that I converted back in the summer of 2021 to travel around. I'm excited to show you what I've done to it. Let's get to it. So starting on the outside, first off we have my 8-foot by 6-foot awning. This is a Donchel Outdoors. I believe this is about 140 bucks on Amazon, and it's actually worked pretty well. It's just a cheaper little awning, and I think it works nicely. So next, on the other side of the van, I have this 4-inch PVC pipe with an end cap on it that screws off, and this is what I put my fishing poles in. I take the fishing reels off and put them inside this, and I could hold about 5 fishing rods comfortably. Moving up to the top, this is my custom built roof rack. To the right, you can see these two 2x4s going straight towards the front. This is actually where my kayak sits. I built this to be the exact width of my kayak, and it works pretty well. It's pretty easy to load on. It sits a little bit further back so I can pull the kayak up and push it on and strap it down. It works really nicely. I've got 4 of these eye bolts that go through the wood that I can strap it down to with ratchet straps. And to the left of the kayak mount, I have my 100-watt energy solar panel that powers my jackery. And as you can see, it's actually pretty dusty. I should probably clean that off. All right, now we're on the inside of the van. Right here I have my wardrobe, as you could say. I don't have any ability to hang clothes on hangers, so everything that I wear goes in these 4 storage totes. They're just the cheap totes that you can get at Walmart, Home Depot, pretty much anywhere that sells this type of stuff. And behind my passenger seat I have 2 things. I have 2 tanks for water storage. This one holds 6 gallons and this one holds 3 gallons for a total of 9 gallons of water, and this has a manual pump on the top of it. Below that I actually have a storage bin, and that holds a lot of tools and stuff like that, things that I might need along the road. It actually holds a couple of power tools, some roadside assistance stuff, general things like that. And right here underneath my wardrobe, as you could say, I have my Jackery 1000, and it's actually being charged with a solar panel right now through the Anderson jack. And I have a simple extension cord to power some other things, and this is to power my fridge. Currently we're at 58%, pulling in 31 watts with a dirty solar panel. This Jackery has powered my van for a while now, and I've never had a single issue with it. Right next to my Jackery 1000, underneath my bed, is my solar refrigerator, which I believe I did a review on, as well as the Jackery. And this sits right here. It's a nice little spot for it. This fridge is also super quiet and does not wake me up when the compressor engages. As you can see, it is right below my head when I'm sleeping. Now when you come in, the van to the left is kind of like my control station, you could say. I have a light switch right here, which just goes to some simple string lights, which is hooked up to the Jackery. Right here I have my control panel for my diesel heater that I installed, carbon monoxide alarm, and fire extinguisher. Down a bit lower, this is that extension cord that was plugged into the Jackery. All I did was run it around the edge of the flooring up to this point, so I have outlets on this side. As you can probably also tell, I've got a couple of chairs right here. I have a 3-stand chair right here, and I have a normal camping chair. Both are very comfortable, and I use both in different situations. Going back to underneath the bed, I've got a bungee cord that holds all this stuff in, and within that bungee cord is a toilet seat. Super important when you're living in a van. You don't always have an opportunity to use a regular bathroom, so have plastic bags and one of these with you, and you'll do just fine. So now moving on to the storage that I have underneath the bed as well. This bin is usually my pantry, as you could say. As of right now, it's just got a bunch of cooking equipment in it. And the box beyond that one is a bunch of outdoor equipment. I've got gaiters for hiking, I've got a hiking backpack, a dog leash because I have a dog, frisbee golf, a gun case because I do carry, and a couple other just miscellaneous outdoor equipment. You got to pack light when you're living in a van, so it's nice to have everything consolidated into just one small bin. And moving on to my shelf, starting from the bottom going to the top, this is my, I think it's a 2-kilowatt diesel heater, runs through the floor, and my diesel tank is over there in the corner, as you can see on the back door. This bin right here is my medicine cabinet. I guess it's got a bunch of medicines and medical supplies in it. This bin is currently empty right now. I'll put something in it at some point, just haven't been traveling as of recently, so haven't needed to put anything in there. And to the right, on the very far corner, is a bunch of like clothes and stuff. It's like jackets, waterproof bibs, stuff like that. It's for a bunch of outdoor clothing that I don't want to put inside of my wardrobe to get all that stuff dirty, because that's more like regular clothing. Moving up to the middle shelf, on this far corner right here, I've got a bunch of like toiletries and stuff, basically like bathing stuff. I got a razor in there, dude wipes, bath wipes. Again, when you're living in a van, you really don't have many opportunities to shower or anything, unless you pay for it or you know people you can shower or there's free showers. So it's nice to have like body wipes that you can clean yourself off with when you don't have access. The next one to the right of that is actually like a much smaller mess kit basically. So I've got a small single burner propane stove, salt, pepper, cooking utensils, some plates in there, and that's usually because all of my cooking stuff is at the back of the van when you open the back doors, like my big stove and everything. So I just have this small little mess kit for when I just want to make small meals and don't want to pull everything else out. And to the left of that, I have just basically like a junk drawer. I've got some propane bottles in there, toilet paper, binoculars, some work gloves, some pens, cards and stuff like that. I've just got a bunch of random stuff in there. Everyone needs a junk drawer, even when you're living in a van. And the last storage place on this is the top shelf. This bin right now is my firearm bin, so it's got ammunition, some safety glasses, and a holster in it. I've also got a life jacket, a self-inflating life jacket that is obviously inflated. And this is where I'd usually keep all my fishing stuff. So I usually have a big tackle box up here, and then I also have a crate for my kayak where I can keep some stuff in there like my fish finder and all that stuff. That's usually what goes on the top shelf. As of now, I haven't had any of that stuff in here because I haven't been fishing as much as of lately. And moving on to the back, I have another tool bag, which just has some basic tools in it, like some drill bits and stuff that I can't, this is like the spillover of what I can't keep in that chest up behind the front seat. And if you're wondering what's underneath the shelf by my diesel heater, that whole contraption right there is actually the fuel pump. That fuel pump for these diesel heaters is so obnoxiously loud that I had to encase it in something just to dampen the noise because it's so annoying. Next to that, I have the 10-liter diesel tank, which obviously runs the diesel heater. Now moving on to the back here, I have my little buddy here, Pedro. He's just a piece of wood that I carved a tiki face into. And I wanted to bring him with me, so he's been chilling out there for about a year now. He's just making sure that everything in the van is a-okay all the time. Now something that you may have seen above my bed is actually this thing right here. Now if you're familiar with ice fishing, you may know what clam fish houses are, and this is actually built by Clam or Ice Team. It's supposed to go inside of a fish house sled, and it's supposed to organize stuff. I found it at a thrift store for like $4, and I thought that might be a good thing to have in the van just to put miscellaneous stuff. As you can see, I've got some hand sanitizer, some carabiners, a knife, bee and sting kit. I usually have some medicine up there as well, but it's usually pretty bare and I don't keep a ton of things up there. So as far as my bed goes, I actually have a pretty comfy foam mattress. This is actually a normal size twin bed, but since the dimensions of my van and the build I wanted to do didn't really work for a full size twin mattress, I actually shortened it and cut it down widthwise to fit in here nicely, and it's super comfortable. In the cold, I usually use this 15-degree sleeping bag, and when it's warm out, I usually just sleep under a simple blanket on top of this. Now, another thing that I think is pretty cool about my van is that behind my dresser and by my bed, I have a little secret spot right here, and I think it's pretty cool. This is where I keep a binder with information on the van. It's where I log things. I have a little drum pad to practice drumming, I guess you could say, and this is also to keep my small guitar back here. It's a perfect size to keep it. Now I do have more storage in this van as well. All I do is take this piece of wood, lift up on my bed, put this board in place, and you can see I've got some stuff back behind these bins. Back behind the bins, you can see I have a fly rod case. This is where I keep my fly fishing rod. And behind the refrigerator, which is kind of dark down there right now, but I have a scissor jack, a breaker bar, and just a small toolkit for changing a tire. Now, as you can also see, I have some more storage. What I did pretty much is I took out the back panel on this door, and it's hollow on the inside, and I decided that's where I was going to keep shoes because I really had no place to keep shoes. So I've got a pair of sandals in here right now and a pair of army boots, but I keep tennis shoes and a bunch of other stuff in there usually. And then you already saw the DeWalt bag. This bin is usually where I keep all my cooking utensils, like some bigger pots and pans, more plates, just in case I meet people and want to make a bigger dinner. And then to the left of that, that is where I keep my 2-burner Coleman propane stove. And then up here is obviously where all the driving happens. I really didn't do too much to the driving area. I've got a phone holder. I've got my pet squirrel that I put right here, which is a lawn ornament. And if you can't see him, I've got my two little buddies right here, Mike and Ike. I haven't really done a whole lot of stuff to the front, but there is a couple little things. I keep a lot more roadside assistance stuff underneath the passenger seat, and I also keep an extra expandable water jug underneath the driver's seat. I also thought it'd be cool if I started collecting some pins to the different places that I went to. So all the national parks that I go to and some landmarks, I usually get a pin. So these are all of the national parks I've been to so far this year. Anyways, that right there is my 2003 Chevy Astro van. When I was building this van out myself and went on YouTube to find information about how to build an AstroVan out or just give me ideas, I didn't see a whole lot of stuff out there, but what information was there was pretty good. So I just wanted to do my part and show off my build to anyone else who wants to build out an Astro or a GMC Safari. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, remember to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.